Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Out's here, and it's Friday, and I'm freaking out because somebody snuck onto our team. Yes, last month at Summer League in Vegas, I noticed somebody was sneaking into pictures on the sideline, and I guess I missed the memo when the Raptors had signed David Roddy to an Exhibit 10 contract in Summer League. And all of a sudden he was sitting, and all of a sudden he's in the picture, like with Grady and Scotty and Manuel and RJ and Jakob and Sandro. I'm like, why is David Roddy sitting in the crowd at Summer League with the Raptors, watching the Raptors, young Raptors, play Summer League? Why? What's going on here? Well, he got signed to an Exhibit 10, much like Olivier Sarr. He's much like Quincy Guerrier. He's been signed to an Exhibit 10. What does this mean? Who is David Roddy? What is this all about? Well, we've seen David Roddy. David Roddy's been in the league for a couple years now. In fact, he started his career. Well, he was drafted by Philadelphia, and he played briefly there, but found himself in Memphis pretty quickly. And guess who was in Memphis when David Roddy was in Memphis? Our coach. That's right. Coach Darko met David Roddy in Memphis when he played for Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, those were probably some of the best times for David Roddy. His early career on the Memphis Grizzlies, he was playing a lot. He was in the rotation, and I think he was known as a very athletic, hardworking, tough-nosed kind of player. There's certain things about David Roddy's player build that are interesting. Did you guys know that David Roddy was a 3-sport star in high school? He was a basketball star, of course, a track and field star, and he also played football. He's very athletic. He's an extremely good athlete. Now, he is like 6'4", and he does play forward. In some ways, he's kind of like Colin Murray Bowles, a small forward that plays like a power forward. Because, I mean, 6'4", 255 pounds, that's a load. That's a load. Now, David Roddy, well, what should we expect from David Roddy being around? We know he's in Spain. We know he was at Summer League. We know he's been training with the Raptors all summer already. What should we expect? Well, I saw a sign yesterday, and I'm like, wow, we need to pay more attention to this, because this may actually be a reality of what could possibly happen in training camp, because they're showing a graphic yesterday. The Raptors official admin posted a graphic with the big number 25 in the middle of it, and a whole collection of Raptors wrapped around it. And Roddy was on that graphic. And that's what made me think, wow, I need to take this more seriously. David Roddy's bona fide as a Raptor. As Wikipedia even says, he's a Raptor, because he is a Raptor. So it's like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Usually when these kind of signings happen, they're a bigger deal. People take notice. People are like, whoa, what's going on here? It's kind of like weird because like the Raptors snuck one on us. I think Sportsnet mentioned it for a second in a blurb, but nobody really talked about it hardly at all. None of the people on social media were posting about it or really talking about it. In fact, a lot of people noticed it yesterday when that graphic came out. The how many under 25 players are on the Raptors. It's a really cool graphic, and it really does say a lot about the young youth on our team and how we have the ability to grow and get better and better at development. But yeah, some people were in the comment section saying, "Is David Roddy on our team? Is David Roddy on our team? What's going on here?" It was just noticed that man was snuck into that graphic right there, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, is David Roddy on our team? David Roddy's an interesting player, man. In some ways, he was sitting in a spot at Summer League on the bench with the rest of the vets for the Raptors, where Chris Boucher should have been sitting. In some ways, it was symbolic that Roddy was brought in and was around the team instead of Chris Boucher, because in some ways, they're very opposite players. That's part of it. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. I think that Roddy, his future with the Raptors may not be very deep or very long, but we'll just have to see. Who knows? I think that the fact that he has a prior work relationship with Darko says a lot. I think that it says that Darko wouldn't have signed off on him coming here if he didn't like him. If he already hadn't already worked with him and saw like who he is, I'm pretty sure getting David Roddy was really a lot had to do with Darko, because Darko has the prior connection to him from Memphis. And it could very well be that Darko said something to Bobby like, David Roddy is one of the hardest working guys I've seen. He's so talented and he has a lot to give. Bobby, get David Roddy. And then boom, David Roddy, Exhibit 10 to the Raptors, all of a sudden on here. And in some ways, I think in some ways, that may be it. That may be it right there. It's like, why is David Roddy on the team? Well, he knows Coach Rajakovic from Memphis. He does. And it could very well be Coach had a good impression of him when he worked with him on the Grizzlies. And that's why he's around on the team right now. Maybe it's something to do with like, having a good player in practice, a good example in practice for the younger players on this team. In fact, there's interviews out with David Roddy because he's been on 4 teams already in his NBA career. He's bounced around a bit. He was on Memphis. He's been on the Hawks. He was on the Rockets last year. He's been on the Suns. He's been on quite a few teams, and in some ways, he's got some NBA experience on the sides of the business and just every which way. In some ways, him coming to Toronto doesn't even flinch because he's had to move so much already in his very young career, because he is a young guy too. He's only 24. So, and honestly, they could have played him at Summer League, guys. David Roddy could have been playing at Summer League, but they decided not to play him at Summer League because I guess Darko already knew who he was, and they kind of didn't really need to put him through the paces in that. And it was more important to get the other guys time on the Summer League team. But yeah, it's a very intriguing thing. We'll talk more about the potential and what to expect from David Roddy being around and what could possibly happen. We'll get into that more. Thank you for watching the Raptor Freak stream. Let's go. I'm going to get in the comments now. Trevor J is here. The Commissioner Fund is a bedrock of the station, and I appreciate his participation on the regular. That's right. Protect your peace, your energy, your boundaries. Becoming less reactive is a huge part of growth. Decreasing stress takes nothing personally. If you let everything get you work up, you're damaging your mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. There's all kinds of weird forces out there that are trying on us right now. In some ways, it's like we have a lot of bad news in the news right now, and it can really wear down your mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. So in some ways, the best thing to deal with this is to turn off the computer, is to get off your device, is to put the phone away and go outside. I'm serious. You just get TVs, computers, phones away from you. You go outside, sit in the grass, listen to the birds, breathe in the fresh air, and just try and get centered with nature again. Too much of us are in that online world, and it is fucking our minds up. I'm not going to lie. So in some ways, the most healing, holistic behaviors you can have are to get one with nature once again. There's something I'm privileged and fortunate enough to do at my place is forest bathe. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard that term, but it's basically just letting the energy of the forest, the natural world, the birds, the insects, the trees, the plants, the grass, just kind of getting the feeling of one with it. Forest bathe. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the way we got to do it to clear our mind, spirit, and body, is to go and connect back to our natural world, which we were naturally supposed to be involved with, not all this bullshit we've made as men on this earth. So there you go. There's your words of wisdom from Trevor J with a little extra added on from me. I appreciate you, Trevor. I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Raptor Freak James is here. James is one of the up and coming best Raptor Freaks out there right now. I doubt Roddy is getting any playing time. You're probably right. You're probably right. You're probably exactly right, because this is an ultra competitive, deep roster, and it's going to be tough just to get in there. But could it be that this is an Exhibit 10 signing to stash him for the G League this year? That he will be showing up with Olivier Sarr and Clifford Omarui and up for Andrew Jones to stockpile the talent on that level. David Roddy could be a star on the 905 this year. It's similar to Eugene Omoruyi last year, that spot on the Raptors roster. I think that's very likely. Now, James, the alternate course is that he kicks so much ass in preseason and training camp, at training camp in Madrid right now, presently, that Darko and the coaches' eyes open up and they say, nah, we have to have him on the main roster. Then there's more competition for AJ Lawson still for that last spot on the roster. That is a possibility that could happen also. So AJ's need to put the Jets on still and play as best as he can for preseason and training camp, because like I said, AJ's the one in some ways that's fighting for the last spot on the Raptors team. And the people that can come and get it from him are people like David Roddy, Olivier Sarr, Clifford Omoruyi, Quincy Guerrier, those kind of people. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think you're likely right that Roddy will not get any playing time on the regular Raptors, or maybe even not even see that team. And he may be very similar to Eugene Omoruyi last year for the Toronto Raptors 905. He did get called up, but he never got to play on the court for the Raptors, Eugene Omoruyi. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah. Isaac Campbell's here this morning. Happy Friday to Justin Beaver, my Beaver son, and me. There you go. Where's Justin? Let me wake him up. Let me see if I can get him up for you here. Isaac, we haven't seen Justin in a while. He's been very busy, as a Beaver is, in the summertime. He's damn busy. Let's just put it that way. He's been damn busy, Isaac, and that's why we haven't seen him. He may be a little tired, actually. He likes to sleep in right now because he's working really hard late into the night, and then he goes to sleep in his dam, and then he comes out in the damn morning, and he has a damn good day. That's right. That's my guy, Justin. Justin, you all right? Yeah, there he is. There he is, Justin. How are you doing today? You're a little slow, man. You all right? What's been going on with you, man? You've just been really busy like a Beaver is, right? That's Beaver life. That's your culture, right? Isn't that a part of your culture? Beaver culture is busy like a Beaver. Like if you were at home just messing around online all day instead of connected with building dams, wouldn't you feel a hollow life? Like you weren't doing what you were naturally supposed to do? Wouldn't you feel like you got to get back in the damn business? My son, I love you. It's all right. I know you're tired. He's tired, y'all. Let's let Justin go back to sleep. He's very, very tired. So go back to sleep. It's all right. You're my son. I've sunned you. That is the prerequisite. If you come on the show, you have been sunned. Yes, Justin Beaver is my Beaver son. I'm proud of him. All right. Go back to sleep, Justin Beaver. That's right. Oh, man. I tell you, this kid, he's always so busy in the summertime with his damn business. That's right. His damn business. I'm not cussing. Seymour saying, I thought he was still with Memphis or OKC, one of them. Yeah. David Roddy last year split his time between the Phoenix Suns and the Rockets, I believe. That's how crazy it is. You thought he was on Memphis or OKC. Yeah, Memphis was a while ago. He was even on Philly for a second last year again, I think. Like Nick Nurse brought him back in through Philadelphia last year, and then he went to Houston. I think that's right. Let me go get his basketball reference page up, and we'll just take a look at David Roddy's journey as an NBA player and see where he's been. Where have you been, David Roddy? Yeah, last year he played 3 games for the Rockets, 3 games for the Sixers, and 27 games for the Hawks. So he played 33 games last season. So yeah, his best year was his first year in the league, his rookie year, where he played 70 games for the Memphis Grizzlies, and he's averaged about 7 points per game. Yeah, actually averaged about 8 points per game. But he got moved in the middle of that season to Phoenix. So he's been around quite a bit. Yeah, David Roddy. We're talking David Roddy today. And you thought you could get by me, David Roddy, without me doing a Raptor Freak stream on you. No. Freaking out because David Roddy's on the team. That's right. There you go. Kaz is here. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz. It's kind of like when Trucker Kaz says good morning to me, it's time to check in on our fantasy matchups. And well, I'm going to say this right now, guys. Happy birthday to MJ. Fiercey Salsera's birthday is today, guys. And yesterday, I didn't mention it on the show, but I should have. Yesterday was Granny Evelyn's birthday. Granny Evelyn's birthday was yesterday, guys. I wish her happy birthday through Facebook, but I did not say anything on the channel, and I should have. But yeah, two of our best, greatest, all-time Hall of Fame Raptor freaks have birthdays these past 2 days. And that was Evelyn yesterday, and MJ's birthday is today, y'all. It's Fiercey Salsera's birthday today, y'all. So definitely shower her with the love, the birthday love right now. And well, I'm playing Fiercey in the fantasy WNBA right now, and I got a little bit of a lead over her right now. It's about a 73-point lead over her. Kaz is winning his matchup, dominating his matchup right now, up by 234 points over James. JP is beating Edmund by 110. And then we've got Kareem beating Logical Raptors Fanatic by 44. And Cool Cat is losing to MK, our defending two-time champion, by 112 right now. So there's your WNBA check-in with the teams. Make sure you set up your lineups, y'all. Make sure you got your teams ready. And yeah, I've got a good battle with Fiercey going on right now. And I know Trucker Kaz said yesterday that he is rooting for me against Fiercey. But that's because he wants a logjam at the top of 3 10-2 teams. That's right, 10-2. That's our records. Fiercey's saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Today is my birthday. So blessed to see another year, and my only wish is health. That's an amazing wish. You know what? Listen, health is wealth. I'm sorry. You know, people can try and say, I'm so amazing, you have $1 billion. But if you're a crusty person with horrible insides because you've been rotten to decay because you're a nasty person and you shim-sham people to get to the top. You're horrible to people. You're spiritually in moral decay because you're a billionaire and you had to make a lot of people suffer to gain your ill-gotten gains. Yeah, you may not have the best health. I mean, look at Elon Musk's body. He looks like he's all fucked up with his body. It's all angular like his dumbass Nazi trucks. It's just like, listen, that man may have all the money in the world, but he ain't got no health, and that's the real wealth. Right there. You can talk about health as well. You can talk about family and friends and true connection and love, and that in the community is also wealth. So it's like, you can be Mr. Burns and go hide in your mansion with Smithers and be all sad and alone by yourself, Elon Musk, motherfucker. That's what I say about that. Yeah. So health is wealth. Family and friends are wealth. And you know what else is wealth? Your free time. Being able to spend your time in ways that you enjoy. And that's something that is very liberating and good too. Happy birthday to Fiercey. I should feel like I should do a special birthday song for Fiercey on her birthday. I'm going to let her determine what song she would like me to sing for honor of her birthday. I would just sing happy birthday for her. But in some ways, I would like to personalize a song that she likes that I know how to sing and sing it for her today in honor of her for her birthday as a birthday gift. And Fiercey, if you have a song request, think about it long and hard. If you don't, I'll just sing happy birthday if you want. But I'm giving you the opportunity. If you want to test the vocal chops of Lex, I'll do it right now. And I'll sing a song that maybe not the easiest to sing. I'll try. That's right. Here's to great wealth for Fiercey Salsera and all the Raptor Freak families and Raptor Freaks out there. Wishing great, prosperous health. And all the best to everybody. That's right. Associated with the RFF. That's right. Seymour Papis got a Moticon parade that's a little bit like our old friend Tom Duke. And I have to read his language here real quick. That it looks like a smiley face with hearts. There's a heart. And then what is that? Is that a sumo wrestler bouncing on his butt? Is that what that is? Happy birthday, eye candy, cake, celebration, heart. Wishing you many more. That's amazing. I love that. Of course, there's a special bond between Seymour and Fiercey. Fiercey is admired by Seymour, very much so. And I like this. I like this beautiful emoticon parade that our sheriff has laid out for us from the Mountain Time. That's right. Happy birthday from James also. Very, very good. Fiercey saying, did they post on social media he's a Raptor? Like a welcome post? I don't recall seeing anything. No, we didn't really see that. No. We didn't really see that. They barely mentioned it on social media, like Grange and Lewinberg and Blake Murphy. I think Blake Murphy is off for the summer. This guy is not paying attention to Raptors at all. He doesn't give a shit. what the Raptors are doing. He is totally up the Blue Jays' butt, and he is all about Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays, Blue Jays. So Blake Murphy is not keeping his finger on the pulse of the Raptors right now. And in some ways, I would have gotten it from him on Blue Skies or something like that. Josh Lundberg barely even said anything about it on Blue Skies either. Michael Graves, nothing. Doug Smith, did you say anything about David Roddy coming on the team? No, you didn't. Nobody announced it. They didn't do any kind of announce, and he just kind of snuck in and been part of the graphics. Yeah, it's been very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I didn't see any welcome posts. No, I didn't. Shaq Lindsay, thank you for being a supporter of this channel. I appreciate you, Shaq. If we're not cheating, we are cheating other teams into not signing their own players. Damn, I didn't know the Raptors were so diabolical. I'll laugh out loud. Let's see. If we're not cheating, we are cheating other players into not signing their own players. Damn, I didn't know the Raptors are so diabolical. I'm not even sure what this means. I don't know. Either way, David Roddy will be interesting to see what happens with him. Please flesh out your comment here, Shaq Lindsay, just a little bit more. I'm not sure if we're talking about what we're talking about. If we're not cheating, if we are not cheating, we are cheating other teams into not signing their own players. Oh, the Emmanuel Quickley controversy. The whole stupid story about how they think we overpaid for Emmanuel and it's messed up the other teams. Well, you know what? Give us that power, ESPN, you idiots. Go ahead. Give the Raptors power. I love being powerful. You're going to say we're powerful enough to change the whole league in the offseason and mess up free agency because of how we signed Emmanuel Quickley? Okay, good. We're a powerful team. We have a lot of power in this league, obviously. We are the trendsetters. We are the ones that set free agency, obviously. There's people that blamed us for all kinds of bullshit in the past in free agency. Okay, we'll take that power. I will yield it and wield it and take it and like a big, long broadsword and wield the power of the Emmanuel Quickley contract on the rest of the NBA, as ESPN has said we have done. Ooh, I love being powerful. The Raptors have agency and power over this situation in free agency. I love it. That's fine. Let's be powerful. Okay, we did that. Sure, we'll own it. Just like a foul on the court. Yeah, I fouled that guy. Give me the foul. Yeah, we did that. Okay, we'll admit it. We fucked up the league because we signed Emmanuel Quickley to a contract that's going to look good in the next couple of years, and it'll be just right. But you go ahead and think it's bad right now and make up your perception, and you go ahead and live in that world. Yeah, you go ahead and live in that world, Kevin Pelton, Tim Poddeps, you motherfuckers from ESPN. You go ahead and live in that world. Give the Raptors the power to shape free agency. I love it. Fine. Give us that power. Okay, yeah, we did that. Sure, we did that. We're powerful now. That's the way you deal with it right there. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying thank you to Seymour. I love it. And to James. That's awesome. Shaq Lindsay saying, if it wasn't enough that we were stealing plays from New York, but now they want to blame us for teams having trouble signing their free agents because of IQ's contract. Blah, blah, blah. I know. Let's let them blame us, Shaq Lindsay. Let's let them blame us. And we could say, yeah, we are that powerful. We are the movers and the shakers. We set the trends. Y'all copy us. Y'all want to be like us all the time. You hate us. You marginalize us. You don't put us on blast, but y'all are all secretly copying us. You know that's the damn truth. Y'all want our players all the time. You see how the Raptors build up players like Fred VanVleet, and you covet them. You thirst for them. And we are powerful. We set trends. We set the free agency market. I'm going to own it because they're giving us power. They're telling us we're powerful and able to do this. So let's own it. Let's own it, Shaq Lindsay. Yeah, we are powerful, motherfuckers. We're He-Man. I have the power. He-Man. Seymour saying, damn, he gets around. He's still very young. Any word on AJ Lawson? Well, he's in Madrid, and he is in his spot. And, well, he's got to protect his spot. So, yeah, AJ Lawson's around. He's involved. He's in the picture. He's the front runner. He is the favorite. He is the guy a lot of people are rooting for, the hometown hero. It's just, we love Canadian content on this team. And in some ways, AJ Lawson is a rising star in the NBA. I think he's an NBA player. I don't think he's a G League player. And I think that we need to make the room for him on our roster. I think that he has shown a great aggressiveness on defense. He has the jets. He's one of the fastest players in the league, honestly, if you ask me. And, as long as he cuts down his expanded shooting, like too many field goal attempts is bad for him. In some ways, I like to see him stealing the ball and running it back and dunking it more. But in the half court set, in some ways, I don't like AJ taking all the shots. But if the Raptors are in trouble and they need somebody to score all of a sudden, he's definitely a good option to try and get points really fast. So he's a very serviceable player for us. I think that he's a two-way player. And I think that as long as he gets quality control on his offensive game, he's absolutely fantastic. That's the only thing I have a problem with AJ Lawson is when he shoots like 30 shots and he makes 10. And in some ways, no, I don't like that. You could do that on the Long Island Nets, but don't be doing it on the Toronto Raptors, AJ Lawson. That's right. He's still around. He's in the picture. He's been in Instagram and checked in Madrid. So, yeah, he was in that video with Grady when he kicked the soccer goal and did the flips. He was in that video there. Seymour saying Giddey met with the Warriors brass yesterday. I saw this. There's a graphic up with Josh Giddey in a Warriors jersey all of a sudden. Man, Chicago's dropping the ball or something. I don't know what's going on here. I thought Giddey was a good fit in the Bulls. And this is weird, man. I don't know. The Bulls are really, really going weird. And in some ways, that makes me not encouraged to actually think that Mark Eversley is a viable candidate for team president of the Raptors. I see in some ways, a lot of the things that people are saying about Casey, I might apply to Mark Eversley as far as I don't know if this guy has actually done a good job in Chicago. Because if you look at what the Bulls have done while he's been in charge, they've kind of not done anything or grown or been going in the right direction. Some of the things have been absolute fails in Chicago in the tenure of Mark Eversley being there. I don't want to diss the guy. He's Canadian. And in some ways, I like him. And, I would trust him if he came here. He'd do his best. But in some ways, we don't know if his best is good enough because the Bulls suck. And that's just the damn truth. That's just the damn truth right there. That's right. Vucevic doubling down on that he wants out of Chicago. Yeah, I mean, he's seeing all this talent that was around him go out the door. Zach LaVine and DeMar are gone. In some ways, DeMar was his college buddy from USC. And there was a lot of fun in Nikola playing with DeMar DeRozan when he was on the Bulls because they're friends from a long time ago. And there's a lot of fun. I mean, he's seen Zach LaVine leave. He's seen LaMelo, Lonzo Ball leave. He's seen all these players that were around him, that were the most talented players around him. They're all gone. And he's standing there with Kobe White now. And that's about it. Matas Buzelis, that's it. But I would think Chicago would covet Josh Giddey and keep him around, but I guess they don't. And they're like, yeah, Giddey, you can go, man. Giddy up. Giddy up. Oh, that's crazy. Let's keep going. Shaq Lindsay saying, this is as funny as a Michiganian blaming us for not enjoying their vacation because of the wildfires in Alberta. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb things that people say and stupid stuff like that. There is a haze over the countryside right now. It's annoying from the wildfires. But listen, they want to blame somebody. You don't blame the country of Canada. No, because this is a shared global problem. These boundaries don't mean jack shit. We all have one world. And pollution and climate change does not respect the global boundaries of politics like the Canadian border and the U.S. border. Is stupid. You really want to get mad at somebody, a Michigan guy or person who was up here complaining about your vacation getting ruined blame the fossil fuel industry. Blame them. Go after them first. Go after fucking Shell. Go after Exxon. Blame those motherfuckers. Don't blame the Canadian government. Don't blame the people. Don't blame the country of Canada. Blame the climate change that's being affected and accelerated by the fossil fuel industry who had propagandized and lobbied to keep their foothold and their stranglehold on energy consumption in this world. They are squarely to blame. If you want to get mad about wildfires, go write a letter to Exxon, motherfucker. That's what I tell you, man. You want to get mad at that? Get mad at big industry who's polluting our skies and that Donald Trump just wrote a blank check for them to fucking go ahead and go as crazy as they want right now. So, yeah, go ahead and blame that shit if you have a problem with the wildfires. Seriously, that's the issue right there. That's it right there. Fiercely saying Justin Bieber. She got to see Justin Bieber on her birthday. That's a fantastic thing. I was like, Justin Bieber does not appear on the show very often. In some ways, he was a more regular part of the show in the beginning of this channel 4 years ago. And in some ways, he did get phased out a little bit. That's just what happens with shows. characters get phased out a little bit, but they, sometimes they come back and make appearances, just like the young Beaver did this morning. That's right. James is saying, Lex, what would you pay Giddey? Is he worth a 30 per year, 30 million per year? It's tough, man, because in some ways, look, I looked at Josh Giddey as being on the tier of talent as that in his rookie class with Scotty and Cade and Franz and Evan Mobley and those guys. They were all kind of in the same tier and group. Like there's not that much difference between all of them, and to me, in some degrees. I mean, Scotty's the best one, obviously. That's how I feel as a Raptors fan. He's rookie of the year, and he's gotten an all-star and done all kinds of stuff already in his career. But I feel like Josh Giddey is not that far off. 30 million a year may not be right, though. In some ways, his career got fucked up because Oklahoma City cast him out in the trade to get Caruso. And in some ways, getting traded can fuck up your salary scale. Seriously, that's why in some ways, young players, if they don't like where they get traded to or where they get drafted and they cause problems, they can lose money partly in the indirect way because of that. Because in some ways, once you're traded, it's just like a car. It's like you're a used car or something like that. Now you're gone somewhere else. That's why in some ways it's really smart for Scott and players like him that are young coming in the league to try and covet being on the same team for a long time, because that maximizes your earning potentials, because you start getting into franchise tags and you start getting the ability to get into stratosphere of the salary cap where you really get paid. Josh Giddey getting traded for Alex Caruso fucked that all up in some ways. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what he's worth in some ways. It's like, it's a weird thing, this new NBA we've been talking about, the CBA, and how it squeezed out the middle class. And where's Josh Giddey in the middle class right now? And how much is he worth? I have no idea, James. I have no idea. What if he goes to Golden State and they pay him $15 million this year? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. That's right. That's right. Seymour's saying, hell no. Hell's no. What's going on there? The time? Red card? Red card? What is he talking about? Well, hell no. Dan Rose here. Good to see Dan Rosario. Big congratulations to Victoria Mboko for beating Naomi Osaka in the National Bank Open Finals. SGA for being honored at the SGA Day, the Shea Day rally. And good luck to Norman Powell in Jamaica in their game tonight at 7 p.m. You know what? Dan Rowe is doing producer stuff right here. I love it. I love it. In some ways, he's giving me, he's doing a little bit of stuff that like Monique and Trevor do for me, where he's bringing me items of the day to talk about. And I like it. Dan, if you want to do this stuff more often, you're totally welcome to. Making sure I hit some of the news of the day that matters, pertains to this channel. This is Canadian sports, so that fits with the tennis. And obviously SGA, Team Canada, Hamilton, Canada, champion, and Norman, former Raptor champion also. As long as it fits the criteria for the channel, I love it. I love it, Dan. I'm going to give you a dunk for being helpful, giving me some cue cards this morning to kind of touch on some subjects that I wanted to talk about anyway. And in some ways, I might have forgot if Dan hadn't brought it up. So he's on 18 now on the dunk charts. And let's see. All right, I'll break it down. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love that Lou Dort was at the tennis match in Montreal when she won. And there's a lot of bonding between her and him. And I like the post that he made, like the champions, her and him. He's a champion. She's a champion. And you got to love that cross sports promotion. And then thinking about the Thunder, that event yesterday with the Hamilton Ticats, Shea Day in Hamilton was a huge success. You saw SGA in the Hamilton jersey for CFL, holding the Larry O'Brien up over his head. There were some photo ops with the Larry O'Brien with the gray cup, which is pretty cool to see. Championship trophies, hanging out with each other like they're friends. But yeah, good crowd down at the Ticats Stadium. Not a huge crowd, but a good crowd down there, and a very good festivities. I like what SGA said about being a person from Hamilton, that there's a certain grit and a certain kind of energy of hard work from Hamiltonians as far as who they are, and their city is an industrial city and different things. And he really identifies with that identity of a person from Hamilton. So yeah, just a fantastic celebration. Shea Day in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada yesterday. And it was incorporated with a Ticats football game, which was awesome. Very, very cool stuff. Yes, Norman Powell in Jamaica suits up. 7 p.m. tonight. Woo! Are they playing Barbados? I think that's who they play tonight, Dan. Not totally sure. If you guys want to watch Norman play for Jamaica, well, FIBA, free, YouTube, tonight. You can watch it. maybe I'll get on there. Maybe if you're on Discord, this is one of the privileges of members of this channel. If you can get on Discord tonight during that game, I'll be on there live watching it. Maybe we'll even share the screen and watch it together through Discord. And we'll have a watch party of Norman Powell's Jamaica game tonight. If people are not busy, I know it's Friday night, it's the summer and a lot going on, but if you're around and you want to do that, I'll be on Discord probably, and we can watch the Jamaica game together. That's a membership privilege for members of the channel right there. That's right. Kaloy's here. Morning, y'all. Good morning to you, Carlo JS, and good morning to Santino. Smooth Brown Man saying happy birthday to Fiercey. I love that. Reggie, good morning to you, sir. Naomi Osaka seemed off in the post-match ceremonies. She did not congratulate Victoria. It was a terrible look. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Don't be a poor sport. There's people watching. You are an example for the young women that may want to be like you. And they don't want to be mimicking that because that's poor attitude, poor behavior. Well, I think that what happened was, Reggie, and this could very well be it, is that she got beat and she wasn't expecting it. That somebody came from out of nowhere named Victoria and just was a comet streaking up that tournament in Montreal. And Osaka was just a casualty. And in some ways, she's a sore loser. Because maybe she had it in her head, well, I'm feeling really good, I'm going to win. But this phenom came up and took it. Yeah, I don't know. Is there manipulation in tennis? Can you manipulate things? Could there be ref manipulation? Because in some ways, not that I'm saying this happened, the star rising of Muboko is actually very attractive for publicity. And maybe the tennis people are seeing, oh, she's making moves. Or maybe she's just hot and she just did it. I don't know. I am speaking on my ass. I'm not going to say anything that's like tainting her victory because she earned it. I'm sure she did. But could it be possible that storylines were written just because they wanted to get more interest in some ways? That's possible always. We know how sports is not totally, but I don't want to take away from her victory. I'm sure she won outright correctly. But I always kind of wonder about that. It's the conspiracy theorist in me. But I think that she probably won correctly, and that's what it is. But yeah, that's a bad look by Naomi. And maybe she thought that it was scripted for her to win. No, I'm not saying it's scripted. How do you script tennis? Seriously, how do you do that? You're off base with what you're saying right now, Lex. I'm policing myself right now. Trevor J saying Netflix lands exclusive FIFA Women's World Cup rights in Canada. Okay, that's not really pertaining to our channel in some ways, Trevor. I appreciate that, though. Smooth saying, I know she's documented her mental health struggles. I hope she's okay. Are you talking about Osaka? Yeah. Well, hopefully, listen, if you're playing competitive sports, you need to be able to deal with the double-edged sword of success and failure. If you're messing with that stuff, you better understand you're going to fail sometimes. You're going to need to be able to deal with it in a healthy way. Seriously. Yeah. Thank you to Smooth. James is saying, Fox got a max deal. In your opinion, who's better, Fox or Halliburton? This is a great question. James has really been throwing some great questions at me this past summer. And I think this is a good question. This is valid because both of them were Kings. And at one point, they seemed like they were going to be teammates for a long time. And now neither one of them are in Sacramento. And the Sacramento Kings look weird at this point. In some ways, I would say this. I think De'Aaron Fox is more reliable than Tyrese Halliburton. But I think Halliburton may be the better player as far as having effect to help their team win. But it's tough to say. It really is. In some ways, De'Aaron Fox, I'm not totally familiar with him as I should be. Because I feel like in some ways, I know he's a fast guy. I know he's a good stealer. But his offensive game has not impressed me for the most part. In some ways, it's like, I think he's overhyped to a degree. But I think Halliburton is too. It's tough. It's tough. I feel like De'Aaron needs to have like 2 or 3 solid, healthy years where he looks really, really good for me to actually gauge him. Because it's tough. I don't know. Right now, Halliburton's the better player for sure. He provides more value, and he's won more. That's for sure. So, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. A lot of people are surprised that De'Aaron Fox got a max deal from the Spurs this week. A lot of people are surprised by that. In some ways, it's tying them up for some really heavy decisions in a couple years from now. In fact, Spurs fans are starting to realize they're going to be in a conundrum in like 3 or 4 years with their very, very good young talent and so many of these guys around now. Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to divvy up the salary for that team. Cool Cat's here. TGIF, Raptor Free Crew. Another day, another opportunity. There you go. That's one way of looking at it. If you're thinking like the JYD, You are relentlessly, opportunistically leveraging everything. That's right. That's right. Good to see you, Coach. Happy birthday to MJ from Kaz. I love it. That's right. The three amigos at the top of the WNBA Fantasy League: Kaz, Fiercey, and myself. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat saying congrats to our 18-year-old Canadian phenom, Vicky Maboko, tennis champion, MBO in Montreal. Another historic first in her early career. May we protect her smile and joy of the game. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel bad that I actually intimated that earlier. But I know sometimes people see the hot story or the hot item in the sports, and they want to go with it and enhance it. But I think she did this all on her own. I really do. I really do. And it's fantastic because honestly, she has a very bright future. And I like your wish for her. I like your wish for her. Yeah, Cool Cat saying Canada Summer of Champs, SGA, Macintosh, Maboko, iconic history. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Those other sports need to get more on blast, I guess, in some ways. Smooth saying Canada is a fantastic job producing world-class tennis player. Is a fantastic job producing world-class tennis players. Wow. Is doing a fantastic job. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right. I feel like with Bianca a couple of years ago, there's been a couple of very, very good Canadian tennis players coming up for sure. For sure. Sure. G's here. Good to see G. Raptor Freak Trivia Champion G. Canadians up. Congrats, Victoria. She is a gem on and off the court. Even down, she held her composure and her strength, mental and physical, ended up getting the win. There you go. That's telling me, because I didn't watch it, that she did come through in the end. All right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Thank you to Kaz. Happy birthday, or any track from Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, baby. Rock it. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. I'm gonna rock it. We're gonna feel for you. Feel for you. Beep, beep, beep. Ah, feel for you. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, feel for you. Dun, dun, dun. Bam, 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 bam. Every time that I look at you, I get the feeling about the time. And I look at you, the benefits and overtime. I can't look at you, baby. And I wish I knew the lyrics. I feel for you. I think I love you. I feel for you. I think I love you. Shaka Khan, baby, rock it. Shaka Khan. That's all I want to do. Oh my gosh! Stop, Lex. Stop. Happy birthday, Fiercey. I feel for you. Shaka Khan. Yeah, there you go. I hope that was good. I wish I'd remember the lyrics. Like if I was doing that song in karaoke, I'd kill it because I'd have the lyrics in front of me. I have done that song in karaoke. I'm not gonna lie. I've stood up on stage in public with people in front of me and sang that song before. But it's hard because it's like I want to do the male part, and like the high notes with her, I'll try and avoid to an extent because I don't want to embarrass myself completely in public. I'll try and stay within my range because she's hard. I mean, I just did some of the stuff that she does, and I did not do it justice. I know. I don't want to. I'm not trying to insult the great Shaka Khan or MJ. I was just doing my earnest interpretation of a song that I loved as a child. Let's just put it that way. That's a good song. That's right. Happy birthday, MJ. Let's see. From G. Seymour saying wildfires where it's clear skies here. Well, Calgary is southern Alberta, so maybe it's coming from the north side of the province. Yeah, this is the thing. The wind is blowing this way. It's going east. It's blowing it east away. It's nice out. I feel like it's beautiful out, but when you drive in the countryside in the Greenbelt right now, you can see the haze over the countryside. And it's weird because usually it's blue skies, beautiful, beautiful, clear scenery out here in the country where there's hardly any pollution. But that wildfire smoke is gathering and making the Greenbelt look like a smoggy downtown Toronto, which is weird. It's very weird to see driving around. Fierce is getting all kinds of birthday wishes and thanks. Smooth saying, next up for Vicky Mboko is the U.S. Open. She's ranked 24th in the world. Before the National Bank Open, she was outside the top 300. There you go. She's a comet. She's rising up. I love that. I love that so much. Smooth saying, Layla Fernandez, another Canadian star, is ranked 25th. There you go. All right, Canada, elbows up. Let's go. Let's go. Dan saying, yes, Jamaica plays Barbados tonight. That's who I thought it was. Is Barbados. So Jamaica versus Barbados. I'm trying to think who's on Barbados that's NBA. I'm trying to remember. If anybody wants to go see if there's any key players for Barbados tonight against Norman and the Jamaicans. I'm wondering if the Thompson twins aren't around, though. They're not going to show up for Jamaica tonight, are they? Because I ain't seen them practicing with Jamaica right now. I have not seen Amin and Asur with the Jamaican team like Norman is, which is weird. Cool Cat saying, I will offer some grace to Naomi Osaka. I'm just glad to see her playing tennis again, despite her challenges over the years. Women's tennis is doing great with great competitors. This is fantastic. I mean, that's always been a sport where I feel like it's been equalized. Like, you've had greats like Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Chris Everett, Venus and Serena Williams. There's been such strong female tennis players that in some ways all along the equality of women's tennis to men's tennis has been there. But sadly, probably the pay hasn't been the same, even though ever since Chris Everett and Billie Jean King and all that kind of stuff with John McEnroe and Elena Stase and Bjorn Borg and Andre Agassi, they were probably getting paid way less than their male counterparts at that time. But the popularity of women's tennis has always been very equal to men's tennis. That's an interesting thing right there. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, Osaka, in some ways, what happened yesterday is what happened. Maybe if she could take it back, she would. She might see it later and be like, oh, I shouldn't have been like that at that moment. But, that's tough. You're a tough competitor and you don't get there, you're going to feel things. And in that moment, she maybe didn't react exactly right. But it is what it is. We're all going through life and learning through our experience. And, we'll see what her lesson is from that. Seymour saying the East is so weak this year that Milwaukee thinks they can win it all with Kuzma. Laugh out loud. Joke of the day. That's funny. That is a funny joke. Seriously, that is a freaking joke. You're exactly right. Let's get Seymour Pape a dunk for bringing up something hilarious. That is a joke. I mean, seriously, I'm going to tell you right now, if Giannis Antetokounmpo gets hurt this year in any kind of way and he misses extended time, Milwaukee Bucks will miss the playoffs completely. They will completely miss the playoffs, guys. You could take Giannis off that team, off the roster, and it is absolutely a shitty team like the Wizards. I'm telling you right now, Kuzma brought that Wizards energy with him to the Bucks. And now they've gotten rid of all their good old leadership. Even Pat Connaughton's gone, guys. Pat Connaughton's gone, and he was there forever. No more the big ugly goof, the big ugly center. He's gone to the Clippers. Chris Middleton got traded last year for Kuzma in a ridiculous, dumb trade that shows just how bad the Milwaukee front office is. So, yeah, this is a very bad team of streak shooters and ineffective players that can't play defense, that are going to probably suck really bad, and they're going to look really bad on the court. Watch. I'm telling you right now, the Milwaukee Bucks are horrible this year. And anybody who thinks the Bucks are going to be good this year, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Smooth saying, Lou Dort was at the match yesterday supporting Vicky. It was really nice to see that. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. In fact, let's do the Instagram stories because it's there. Vin Bagnani is putting on blast Grady's goal at the soccer practice and his flips. Pretty cool. And also, he's getting happy birthday wishes because it was his birthday yesterday, guys. I slept on a couple birthdays yesterday. Granny Evelyn, happy belated birthday. Also, happy belated birthday to assistant coach of the Raptors, Vin Bagnani. It was actually his birthday yesterday. And I found out because his daughter wished him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, the best dad I could ever ask for, is what she's saying on there. That's pretty cool. And then there's something about Fernand something, some water or something. I don't know what that is exactly. Where are you, Vin, when you have that one? Let's see what the fine print says on the bottom. He is at the Fernan Gomez Centro Cultural de la Villa. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. There's David Johnson in Australia pumping iron, getting ready for his Jackers career. There's Angola's team walking around, and Bruno Fernando's going to be the star of Angola. Let's see how he does in the African FIBA competition right now. There's Luguette Stort at the tennis yesterday champs, Vicky Mboko. And there he is. And there's the celebration of when she got the thing. And there is poor Osaka standing next to her. And yeah, that's cool stuff. Luguette's very much celebrating with Victoria. Fantastic stuff. Very, very good. Let's see. Lindsey Dunn is with SGA in Hamilton, taking photos of SGA holding the Larry O'Brien at the big event yesterday in Hamilton. So very, very cool. The champ is what they're saying. Canadian treasure, SGA, and the icon that is known as Kate Burness. And then Lindsey went to the Weekend concert last night. I guess the Weekend was at Rogers Center last night, tearing it up and playing his show for all the people in Toronto. The Weekend kicking butt and doing his show. Lindsey was at the show. That's right. There you go. Let's keep going. Eric Smith putting on Victoria on blast on his Instagram. Teresa Resch putting Victoria on blast on her Instagram. Let's see. Jamal McGlure's advertising CBL. The Love of Scarborough game is on tonight, guys. So if you love Scarborough, join them as they celebrate the Scarborough healthcare staff at the Scarborough Hospital. Is to support Scarborough Hospital Network Foundation. So if you go to the CBL game at the Pan Am Center tonight, you'll actually be supporting the Scarborough Hospital Network. And yeah, that's a great cause. So definitely get down there and check out the Scarborough Shooting Stars. Also, Jamal McGlure put on blast Victoria. The moment is what he's saying there. That's fantastic. NBO 2025 champion, Victoria Mboko. Fantastic stuff. New Canadian superstar. Also, words of wisdom from Jamal McGlure. I can't cry about having a lot on my plate when the goal was to eat. Well, then, we see our friend Naco the Nacho on the Instagram stories has returned to the stage, and he was doing some stand-up in a bookstore yesterday. I'm not exactly sure where Gerald was, but he had a nice audience, and a nice young lady posted his stand-up set on there. So I see Jerry with a microphone in front of him telling jokes in front of a crowd. I love to see that. My good friend Naco the Nacho still doing his stand-up comedy routines. Let's see. Here we go. Elijah Martin's got the graphic 25 and under. Every Raptors player 25 and under. Elijah Martin, Jonathan Mobo, Arish Shamshay, Jamison Battle, AJ Lawson, Chucky Hepburn, Oshai Baji, Grady Dick, David Roddy, RJ Barrett, Jamal Shed, Colin Murray Boyles, Scotty Barnes, and Jacoby Walter. That is 14 out players on a roster, 25 and under. That's a beautiful thing. That's right. And that's how we knew David Roddy was bona fide, because he's on there. It's like, wait a second, David Roddy's on there. So he must be a part of the team, is what we're finding out. Also, Savannah Hamilton putting on blast Canada Hoops 3-versus-3 tournament put on by Sun Life and Canada Basketball. Come watch the nation's best teams compete live. And I'm not sure when that is. That may be going on right now. Also, Cinderella Stories is back in effect. Ashley Docking, Savannah Hamilton. Support their podcast. It's awesome. Savannah made an appearance on the news channel. They had her as an expert talking about the WNBA dildo throwing scandal. And she's very serious about it. Apparently, it's gotten worse. There's been 3 incidents now where a dildo has been thrown on the court at a WNBA game recently. And there was a 4th one that was thwarted in New York. She's sharing the picture of the mugshot of the guy who did it. It's very interesting on her Instagram stories. The first dildo thrower is put on blast by Savannah Hamilton. And she's saying, look, the first time it was kind of funny, but we were kind of just poo-pooing it. But now that it's becoming a regular occurrence, this is dangerous. This is a bad message. It's disrespectful, and it needs to end now, is what Savannah was saying on the cable news network that she was on as a guest to talk about it. And, well, I would say, yeah, the first person that did it needs to be banned from the WNBA for the rest of their life. Seriously. Why would the hell would they do that? Why would you go to a game and do that? And now other people are trying to do it too. That's just messed up. So, yeah, they need to make an example and tell these people, don't come to the game if you're going to be doing disrespectful shit like this. Seriously. So, yeah, Savannah, good job going on the air to talk about this issue as the expert. Yeah, WNBA dildo thrower is revealed. If you want to see what the guy looks like, go to Savannah Hamilton's Instagram stories. There's AJ Lawson in Madrid, Spain. Like we said, there is AJ. He's doing the sightseeing. They're taking pictures and seeing around the place. It's very beautiful where they are. The architecture is 10 out of 10. And he's also putting on blast some guy named Ward. He's wearing a Raptors jersey 25 on backwards. Kickback Foundation. Meet our 2025 Youth Ambassador. Ward is who that is from the Kickback Foundation. Slim Duck has got him and his crew, and they're dancing. And there's Quincy next to him. Right next to him is Quincy Guerrier. These are actually guys who play for the Montreal Alliance. Two of the guys there. It's Quincy. Actually, I think all four of the guys that are there with Chris in that picture are all from Montreal Alliance. Like they're players from CBL. And then here's Chris is posting Cillian Murphy, the actor. Point of view. Me, the moment I realize it's not worth my energy. He just gets up from the table and walks away. It could very well be that Chris is hearing different news and noise from around Raptors fan nation about him going to the Celtics. And he's just kind of like, I'm above it. I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not, even if Raptors Freak says this about this or this, I don't care what he said. It's my life. I'm going forward. I'm going to do what I do. The next chapter is in Boston. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is with Chris. And if some people have something to say to him, well, he's not listening. He's going to walk away. He's going to go to the new city and play for the new team. And he'll still have his alumni and love from us as a Raptors legend. Don't matter. But yeah, it's tough. There's Chris playing some pickup ball somewhere. I'm not sure where he is exactly. Let me see. What does it say on the wall? Welcome to Kerr Hall Gym. Kerr Hall Gym. I'm not sure where Kerr Hall Gym is, but he was in Kerr Hall Gym at a BGR8 run. So yeah. And yeah, he's when I start dancing like this, take me home. I'm drunk. And once again, it's the Uso brothers getting oozy. Yeah. Colin Boyles took a picture at 10:10 last night of a palace in Madrid, Spain. Jack Armstrong showing pictures of the Comedy Records celebrity game, charity game. And he's playing Eye of the Tiger by Survivor over the highlights. There you go. Jack was a coach, I guess. Let's see. There's Norman in the Jamaica gear getting ready to suit up for tonight. So Norman Powell is going to be there. And he's also got a clip of him talking about getting his Heat jersey for the first time. And this is what Norman says, guys. He's always dreamed of being a Miami Heat player. He revealed this. I got that feeling before just because of his energy. Now, Norman says that his favorite player in the league was Dwayne Wade other than Kobe, and that it's a dream of his to play for the Miami Heat. That's a little sad to hear as a Raptor fan, but in some ways it makes sense. You know, in some ways the DNA and the play style of Norman Powell while he was on the Raptors, it would have fit on the Heat. So in some ways, Heat culture is something to understand the grind is associated with. So, but it's tough to hear. It's like he said he had a childhood dream to play for the Miami Heat, and well, he's going to play for them. In some ways, I shouldn't be jealous. He's had his time with us. He's a champion with us, and well, he's getting to fulfill a dream to play for the Miami Heat. I'm happy for him. I'm not going to hate on that. In some ways, partly too, is because the Miami Heat are not as much of a threat in certain ways in the Eastern Conference right now, currently, because they're kind of in disarray. Let's just put it that way. Brandon Ingram on his Instagram stories has got, I pray that God keep leading me to information. I don't pray for money. I pray that I wake up and I seek for information like it's my first day. He wants information. He doesn't want money. Interesting. Jameson Battle taking the landscape of Madrid, Spain, and on his Instagram stories. Chucky Hepburn posting the 25 graphic on his Instagram showing that he is a Raptor and he's one of the 25 and under players. Jacoby Walter has a cute picture of him and his sister when they're little. It's so cute. They're laying on the ground and holding each other. And it's just cute. Jacoby is a baby. Y'all want to go look at it? Go look at Jacoby's Instagram stories. They're there. And there he is, like she has a certificate and he's smiling real big. It's cute. Very, very cute. There they are grown up together. So I guess he's just celebrating his sister for some reason. Lots of pictures of her and him going on there in different stages too. There's one with him in a green balloon and she's wearing a crown. And it said, happy birthday, Kira. I love you, infinity. There you go. So it was his sister's birthday yesterday. That's why. There's the Raptors posting the graphic, the 25. And they're asking, drop your favorite Jacoby highlight from last season. It's got to be the game winner, guys. Come on. That Jacoby Walter game-winning shot against Orlando, that's got to be his best highlight of the season. I'm sorry. Emmanuel Quickly's in the weight room. I love to see this. Yeah, he's in the weight room. And he's also got graphics of the kids from his camp last week and teaching the youngins. Really, really cool footage from the Emmanuel Quickly youth camp last week. And then, yeah, he's in the gym. And I've noticed him, Fred, Jamal, they all do balance work. I feel like that's the big part of the point guard's off-season workout is really strengthening your ankles, strengthening your legs, getting your agility really good, getting your balance really right on one leg, both legs, bouncing around, stretching, jumping with weights. There's a lot of that stuff in all the workouts I see posted by Jamal Shed, Fred VanVleet, and Emmanuel Quickly. They're doing similar kind of stuff. It's the top of line, best techniques for these guys in their profession. Pascal Siakam standing in his home gym with his logo behind him. Release the merchandise, Siakam. Release the merchandise. Just do it. Just do it. Kyle Lowry saying happy Earth Day to DeMar DeRozan, whose birthday was yesterday. We're going to celebrate DeMar tomorrow because it's Share the Love Club. Happy birthday, DeMar DeRozan. Maybe we'll put, Fiercey, you're going to get one too. I was like, man, Fiercey birthday's today. Maybe I should just share love for her. But I've already said I was going to do DeMar. I want you to get your own separate one. So, Fiercey, you're going to get your own Share the Love Club soon. I'm just going to say that right now. DeMar and Kyle shared a bunch of cool clips of DeMar and him from over the years. There's first one where DeMar's in the car listening to music and Kyle's like next to him and he's like getting down. And then there's one of DeMar, young DeMar in the Raptors locker room, standing there looking at a shoe. And that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of history. And, of course, the bromance and the love between Kyle and DeMar is amazing. There's a picture of them from the interview last year for Raptors Delight, the dark side of the Raptors from Sportsnet that they were talking about on there. And, yeah, there they are working out in a gym. That's been since they both left the Raptors. And there's a picture of DeMar in the gym smiling really big. And you see how jacked he is with all his tats and stuff. So, yeah, happy birthday again to DeMar DeRozan from yesterday, especially from your very good friend, Kyle Lowry. Yeah, there you go. There's the Instagram stories for today. You love it. You love it. You love the connections. You love the alumni. You love the Raptors. That's what it's all about right there. That's what it's all about right there. Yeah. All right, let's keep going with the chat. Let's see. We got Seymour Pape saying Davion Mitchell, Fox, and Halliburton all came and went through the Kings organization. Not sure what they're smoking in Sacramento. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any. They're another front office that I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? I don't know why anybody would think we're the Sacramento Kings of the East because we have really good young core that's coming up. And I don't know what the fuck the Sacramento Kings are doing over there. I really, really don't. They haven't hung on to some of their best players that they've had recently. And it seems like they're soured on Sabonis even at this point, where Sabonis could even be shopped right now and going somewhere else. I don't know what the hell. It's insulting that somebody actually went out and said the Toronto Raptors are the Sacramento Kings of the East. That is absolutely misleading and absolutely false. It's absolutely false. If there's a Sacramento Kings of the East, it's the Bulls. It's the Bulls. I'm sorry. It's the Bulls. And they're very similar. They have a very good, big European center, and that's it. They don't have jack shit on their teams otherwise. And I'm trying not to diss DeMar because in some ways DeMar should have already left there. And maybe, he should have been with Luka and LeBron in LA. Honestly. Yeah, let's keep going. Cool Cat saying, I think Halliburton is better for the business of the NBA. Okay, not thinking about that. He is a pass-first point guard, which is good for his teammates, has showmanship on and off the court, and NYC, Milwaukee hatred is fun for the sport too, WWE too. So she's saying basically that he may be put on blast because he's more marketable and more attractive to be put on blast. And I think that's true. And I think that may be part of the reason why he's been a semi-chosen golden boy for marketing in the NBA. I think she's on point with her points here. G saying Osaka won the first set easily. Victoria is very strong and wore her out. Osaka hit a ball into the audience out of frustration and looked like she gave up. Victoria was composed the entire time. There you go. That's pretty fun. That's thank you for the breakdown on it, G. I did not watch it, so in some ways I shouldn't be opining on it. But I'm glad the phenom is a comet that's rising up women's tennis world right now. There's Jillian. Jillian's here. Morning, freaks. Oh, my God, Lex. Just sang Shaka Khan. Laugh out loud. Awesome. That's what we do on the live stream, Joe. That's what we do. There's going to be crazy, stupid shit happening on the live stream, like Lex trying to sing Shaka Khan, which is really not easy. Not easy at all. And then the puppet was here earlier, too. You could have seen my beaver son if you were here earlier. We're doing weird stuff here. Let me just put it that way. Cool guy saying Friday pipes are back. I love it. You guys know I'll do this. That was for Fiercey specifically for her birthday today. and wishing Fiercey a happy birthday. She requested either happy birthday or Shaka Khan. Well, she got Shaka Khan. That's right, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. Yeah. Oh man. So we're saying Osaka really wanted the win going into the U.S. Open to reestablish herself. I think she was in shock. Well, this is good for sports. In some ways, it's like the comeback is the best part. So come on back, Osaka, is what I'm saying. Come back. That's right. Kaloy saying, did anyone watch Hamilton present SGA, the Golden Ball? I didn't watch it live, but I've seen clips of it and I've seen pictures of it. And it seems like it was an amazing event and just a fantastic homecoming for a hometown hero in Gilgeous-Alexander. That's right. The best player in the NBA and the world right now is Canadian from Hamilton. And I know Jokic people will come and talk to me about that. But you know what? Jokic is the best horse trainer basketball player in the world right now. He is. He's the best horse training basketball player in the world. He loves horse training. That's his priority. SGA, his priority is the NBA. In some ways, that's part of it right there. That's right. Fiercely saying, oh, yes, thank you, Lex. You're the best. I hope it was okay. I'm not trying to insult the legend that is Shaka Khan. I'm just paying homage to my good friend Fiercey by singing one of her favorite artists, even if not totally well. Yeah, it's not the delivery, it's the intention. All right, I like that. That's awesome. I appreciate that, Fiercey. Happy birthday. That's the whole point of it right there. That's right. Jill's saying this. What is Jill saying next? Where'd it go? Oh, we got everybody here. This is awesome. She's saying, hey, Seymour, Ottawa's predicted weather is sometimes smoke. Seymour's in Calgary. Seymour's in Calgary. Let's see. Do watch Fred in Belize. Yeah, it's a very good clip. The Fred VanVleet TV. I hope we get more episodes. I like looking inside of Fred's life. You know, maybe an episode in the future, Freddie, you could bring your kids on it again because I'd like to see what Fred Jr. is looking like and the two girls. Seriously, let's see Layla VanVleet. Let's see how she's doing these days. And, you know, if you want to put your brother in it, I think he'd be more fun to watch than your friend who's weird. In some ways, I get it. You guys are dropping F-bombs and stuff like that. I do, too. And I should never tell anybody not to drop F-bombs. But you have a more family-friendly clip if your friend could stop the profanity, maybe, and the goofy ways that he talks. I know you cussed a little bit, too, in it, Fred. And that's just you being real. It's real people cuss sometimes. That's what they say. More honest people cuss. If you're not cussing, you're not as honest. That's what they say. But yeah, I get it. But I love that clip, Jill. And I want to see more FVV TV. Some more episodes, please, Mr. VanVleet. More episodes, please. That's what I want to see. That's right. Fiercely saying Osaka is half Haitian, but Mboko is from Montreal. I was rooting for both. Just glad they got visibility at such a high level. This is great stuff. This kind of stuff is always good for tennis. It's the way that it's been built and getting attention all the time is rivalry and this kind of stuff. This has always been the model for tennis and getting attention. That's right. Mboko born in North Carolina. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Fiercely saying, my bad, Jillian. She was raised in Toronto, not Montreal. So rooting for Haitian and Canada. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Either way, very, very happy to see success of a Canadian athlete, right? Right. And let's see, Blackhawks here. Good to see Neil. The SGA celebration was good. I should have gone to it. Yeah, if you were in the area and you could have gone to it, yeah. I told you guys about this a long time before. And said, mark your calendars. There's SGA Day in Hamilton, a big event at the Hamilton Ticats game. And if you can get to it, go to it. Go to it. That's right. There you go. Go to it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Smooth saying that the dildo throwing is disgusting, man. Stop that shit. There you go. And I like how he censored himself. He put a little lines in there. He didn't want to spell out dildo. I wonder if YouTube flags that word. I feel like sometimes I watch YouTube channels and other content creators are like, whoa, I won't say this word. And I'm like, why won't you say this word? YouTube will flag me. And I'm like, what the fuck are the words? I better know what they are. I don't want to get flagged for just talking out of my ass and saying dildo and shit and all kinds of other crazy words I might say. Trump is an asshole. You know, I might say some shit that might get me in trouble. I don't even know what the flag words are. People like Professor Rock, who's a great YouTube channel. Professor Rock, he's always saying, oh, I would say this word, but I can't. YouTube will get me in trouble. I'm like, what the fuck are the words, Professor Rock? I could get in trouble on the Raptor Freak channel if I don't know what the words are, George Carlin. Tell me what the words are. It's weird, man. It's weird. Some YouTube people like don't cuss in the first 5 minutes of the channel, like the show. They're like, oh, don't cuss in the first 5 minutes, but you'll be all right after 5 minutes. I don't get that either. Like, what if I come in right off the bat? I'm like, fuck Ed Rogers, fuck Keith Belly. What if I did that one day? YouTube's gonna be, oh shit, his first word in his stream is fuck. Oh, shut him down, shut him down. Oh, wait, 3 minutes later, it's okay for me to say the F word? But I can't say it in the first 3 minutes of my YouTube stream? I don't understand any of this. I need one of these weird analyst guys who send me junk mail all the time. I can help you improve your YouTube channel with some slight changes. I get these emails all the time. I see that your channel is somewhat successful, but I think I can make it even better. And it was like, what are the rules? Tell me, when should I cuss? What words can I say? I don't know. I feel like I'm doing YouTube wrong. 4 years running almost. I must not be doing something wrong. I mean, something going right. Mike is here. Logical Raptors fanatic in the house. Our capologist. What's up, Mike? What's up, man? Ooh, I didn't know it was sex toys. People are reporting on toys being thrown, and I didn't get it. There were dildos. It was a bright green dildo that people were saying was the detachable penis of Shrek. That's what they were saying, because it was green, the color of Shrek. And they're like, this is a Shrek dildo on the court now all of a sudden. It was crazy. In some ways, there's comedy in it, but it should be stopped right away. It's smooth exactly right. This shit needs to stop. It's disrespectful and it's wrong. It is wrong. That's right. And somebody could get hurt. That's right. Blackhawk saying the dildo disruptors should be banned for life. Yes, I concur on this adjudication. Judge Blackhawk has adjudicated. You should be banned for life, dildo thrower. That's right. Wayne's here. Morning, Raptor Freaks. Our 2019 run was interrupted by COVID-19. Every other team that has won have had their team diminished, whether on their own or whatever other reason. Yeah. Listen, I like this because the parity extends to you don't get a dynasty either, Oklahoma City. No, you don't. You're not going to get a dynasty exactly. I bet you won't. Boston won't get one. Denver won't get one. Golden State won't ever get another one again. No more dynasties, y'all. Different champion every year. And honestly, I think it'll happen again. I'd be shocked if the Thunder repeat this year because it's really hard to get that same path going there. But on Sunday, we may talk about this a little bit. Sunday special report coming up. A very special Sunday special report on Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Tune in on Sunday. You'll find out what the special report's about. That's right. We're going to talk about the changes in the NBA, a little bit of what Rick Carlisle's been talking about. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Seymour saying this. Pickleball champion. Thank you. I'm a Peep the Fred video. You should watch it. In the Fred video, you see Fred catching lobsters with his own hands. That's right. Fred gets under the water. He's scuba diving. He's under the water, and there's lobsters in the water. He's grabbing them. He's grabbing them like steals on the NBA court. And he's just grabbing these lobsters, and he comes up, and he gets back on the boat, and his friend's acting like he's the champion of the world. Look at how he's feeding all of us, getting all these lobsters for all of us to eat. And then they go to the shore, and they cook those lobsters up right there. They take the fresh lobster right out of the ocean and cook it right there that same time, and they eat it. And the guy's saying, Fred, thank you for getting me a lobster. Basically, that's part of the content right there. It's fun. It's very cool. And then you see Fred freaking out about getting on a small plane. You got to see that part too. Fred's like, I don't know if I want to get on this small ass plane real quick. Oh my gosh. He's like, you can tell he's really scared. He's kind of like, his knees are knocking. So he's saying, I thought his dream was to play for the Clippers. He was a bootlicker for them for so long, Norman Powell. Yeah, I mean, you could have different dreams in different ways. I mean, the Clippers make sense too, because they were the San Diego Clippers, and his hometown is San Diego. So it makes sense that he would have a dream to play for the LA teams, either one of them. He probably has a dream to play for the Lakers too. You know, it's just like, that's how it is. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're trying to say. He was a bootlicker for them for so long, you know, and they cast him aside. In some ways, they were disrespectful towards Norman when he left LA this summer. In some ways, they're like, oh, we got a guy who's younger and better, Bradley Beal. I'm like, bro, what world do you live on that you think Bradley Beal is a better NBA player than Norman Powell? Seriously, what world do you live on, Clippers fan, that you think that Bradley Beal is a better player than Norman Powell? Because listen, Norman understands the grind. I think that Bradley understands getting a lot of money to do nothing. That's what he understands. Woo! Woo! Scorched earth on Bradley Beal. Wow! I'll allow it. It's exactly right. That's right. That's exactly right. G saying the pay is 400,000 difference in this tournament, but apparently by 2027 they will be equalized. Okay, so they are equalizing the gender differences in pay in tennis. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I would say sometimes the women are way more popular than the men. And I think that in some ways that was true during the era of the Williams sisters, that the women were more in the focal front. You know, there may be Nadal and people like that from that era of time, but it seemed like the Williams sisters were the stars of tennis during their time when they played, and that the men were in the shadow of them. So in my thinking, they should have been paid more in some ways if they're more getting more attention, more on blast, and they're more popular, generating more money, those kind of things. That's right. Let's see. Smooth saying, I apologize to anyone on this chat if I offended regarding Norman Powell. I just never forgot how he devalued his 2019 chip. Well, in some ways, that's his own damn fault. He shouldn't have done that. He makes himself look bad by doing that. He shouldn't do that. Don't do that, Norman. Don't do that. Don't devalue your time on the Raptors because in some ways everybody else is doing it. You don't need to do it. And you should be proud of it and you should be touting it because it's a huge achievement. You may never, ever get anywhere near a Larry O'Brien again for the rest of your life. So value what happened in Toronto in 2019, my guy. Seriously. Jillian saying Norman Powell committed to play for Jamaica. Yeah. I know that. This is old news. We covered this like 3 months ago. That Norman declared he was going to play for Jamaica. Now he's in the practices. He's doing it. Chill, if you watch the show every day, we talk about this. This is not news. We talk about this every day. Almost. Let's go Yardies. Okay. Let's go Yardies. All right. Kaloy saying logical. What are the Raptors over the cap? Yeah, that's a good question. They are slightly over the cap from what I remember. I think they're like 4 or 5 million over the cap currently. And that there's going to be a goal for this year to shave the underneath the cap by the trade deadline. And that's why there's a lot of speculation that somebody's going to get traded this year. And that's pretty likely. That's pretty likely that we could see a trade happen to get money under the cap by the end of the year. I think that's what I've been hearing. Let's see what Mike says. Mike says here, he's saying that the Raps are 3.3 million into the fair apron. So it's a little bit lower than what I thought. I thought it was 4 or 5, but he's saying it's 3.3. So this is the thing, guys. Everybody's saying we have to trade RJ to get under the cap. That's not true. That's a very low amount, that 3.3. In some ways, we could do a minor trade or to get some of the salary shifted off of us, and we would fix this. Wayne's saying, talking about Jamison Battle, what are our expectations for our sniper? I need him to improve on movement to get a better shot, more like Grady. Is that too big an ask? No. And that's exactly what they're asking him. You're exactly right, Sergeant Wing, because in some ways there was a point in his rookie year last year where Jamison overcame some of his limitations on defense. He bulked up. He got stronger. He became a better rebounder, and he's accelerating being a better all-around player other than just a shooter. But this is true, and they even talked about this in the middle of the season last year. Darko saying that he's trying to work with Jamison on his footwork on the outside to get himself open. And in some ways, he wants him to learn a couple of tricks like what we're talking about, a little side dribble or maybe a little step or something to get around the defender who may be running at him so that you can get cleaner open shots. In some ways, being a set shooter, a catch and shoot guy is fine. But in some ways, it'd be good if he could generate his own shot off of a dribble or a little sidestep in certain ways, especially if the defender's coming flying by him trying to close out. And he can do a little dribble, step to the side, and then shoot. Yeah, all those kind of moves he's definitely working on. And I remember Darko specifically talking about working with Jamison Battle on this. I think he even talked about Grady, obviously, is working on this also. Jacoby also, too. These kind of things. So, yeah, Mike's saying, yeah, I already read that one. Jill's saying we love Norman Powell. Okay. Yeah, he's a champion with the Raptors. We do love him. Seymour's saying, I can't stand the Heat, but I'll be rooting for Norman. Yeah, that's the right action right there. Towns is from Barbados. Now, does he play for them, though? I thought he was playing for a different team, right? Was he playing for Barbados? No, he's playing for Dominican. He played for Dominican Republic, actually. So I think he's actually from Dominican. I don't think he's Barbados. Barbados would be, well, Aiton is Bahamas. So who's Barbados? Who is Barbados? I don't even know. I don't think there are any main players in Barbados. Kaloy saying, are there indications that the Raps will try to duck the first apron? Yes. Yes. That's what the experts, the beat writers are speculating for the season, that the Raptors may try and duck under it by the end of the year. So there may be, I would say there may be a trade around trade deadline. And it really might be like we discover in the first half of the season how the young guys have developed and how they're fitting, and whoever seems extraneous or kind of duplicate, not necessarily essential, may be the person who's getting moved. That's what it may be right there. That's what it may be right there. Jill saying, Leslie Nielsen's Airplane movie comments in reference to beavers notwithstanding, I really appreciate that you have a beaver. What? What is this? Like, what? All right. First of all, I'll wake him up one more time because he was here earlier and he was tired. He's been out in the damn building. And in some ways, it annoys me because it redirects water. But he still has to do it because it's his natural instinct. In some ways, I want my beaver son to be as beaver as he has to. He has to live his cultural roots. But yeah, Justin, Jill wanted to see you, and that's why you're up again. I'm sorry, I just had to tap you for a second. Jill just wanted to see you for a second. She's talking about Airplane or something. I don't know what it has to do with. I like that part with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. You all right? You want a hug? Yeah, all right. He's tired. You got to understand, this is like the heyday of the summer, and in some ways, he is exhausted. He's been busy as a beaver. All right, Beaver. Justin Bieber, you're my son. I've sunned you like Justin Champagny would sun someone. You have been sunned in this interview. I'm sorry. You got to go back to bed. He's got to go back to bed. All right, Jill. You made me wake up my beaver son once again. All right. You got that. All right. It's okay. It's okay. Go back to sleep, man. Go back to sleep. All right. Yeah, he's just laying on the floor over there. Over there. He's just laying on the floor. That's right. All right. Let's see. Seymour saying Towns plays for Dominican. That's right. That's right. Mike saying it's a non-issue in my opinion. 3.3 million is easy to drop. AJ Lawson isn't guaranteed yet, so no main pieces will go if they try and duck. Okay, and this is the whole thing. I worry about RJ the most because everybody's speculating because of this overage into the first apron that the Raptors will move RJ to fix it. That's way you don't have to move that much. That's what Mike's saying. We don't need to move a contract the size of RJ's to make things fit. So, yeah, that's what's up right there. That's what's up. Trevor's saying, did y'all see the two videos I shared with Masai in them? Yeah, I watched the interview that Masai Ujiri did with the African guy talking about what he's planning to do next in Africa. You know, I'm worried about Masai. He looked a little weak, like he hadn't eaten enough. He looked a little weak in that interview, and I don't like that. I want him to be strong. I want him to be as healthy and strong as possible. And I like what he's saying, though. It's all about infrastructure. It's all about building an economy for sports in Africa and building new courts and stadiums and having leagues and having customers that pay tickets to come to the games, having apparel, having merchandise. They can all generate money over there. And that's the whole thing about it. You know, over here, we generate a lot of money through sports. And Masai Ujiri is all about generating money for the economy of Africa in different countries. The interviewer is asking him, you've been in Rwanda. What country are you wanting to go to next? And these interviews in press that Masai is doing around Giants of Africa, it's seeming more and more he does not have designs on an NBA part of his career next. It really does seem like that. It seems like the focus is really shifting on the projects that he has going on with Giants of Africa and basketball in Africa, NBL, things like that. But we'll see. The money may be good at some point in a year or so from now, and he may be lured back by something he just can't say no to. But we'll have to see. In some ways, the indications saying that Masai's like, screw the NBA, screw United States. I'm going to Africa, and we're going to be building the infrastructure over there. And that's what it seems like right now. But thank you for sharing the videos, Trevor. Awesome stuff. I appreciate you for doing that. Seymour saying, salute Lindsey Dunn. She has my respect. There you go. Yeah, Lindsay's good. Lindsay's good. We did share love for her earlier this year. Mike's saying there's bonuses as well that are all unlikely, but count to the cap at the moment. So we could be projected to be under already. Okay, there you go. There you go. Capologists like Bobby Webster has probably got all the puzzle pieces fitting in the right way for the Raptors, and we just need to trust him. He's very good at his job. There may be inept GMs out there that don't know how to balance everything and get it right. but Bobby is an expert at this. I'm telling you right now, he has been this whole time. And he's done, to casual fans, they don't see the intricateness of some of the stuff he does with our cap. They really don't, because they don't understand it. And in some ways, they can't really see it. Mike sees it. Logical Raptors fanatic sees it. He's been paying attention to this for years. And in some ways, he could wax poetic on why Bobby Webster's a genius because of different ways he's finagled and shifted things around with different things and different decisions and timing in different times. There's reasons why he waits to do things with Siakam. There's reasons why he does certain things with Chris Boucher, and that you got to understand the capology and the ideas that he has to all fit. And there's reasons why he does it the way he does. And Mike, he can see it and he can explain it and he can tell you, yeah, Bobby's a genius. Bobby has done so many different little moves that are subtle and people don't even totally get, but he is doing it and it's all part of the master plan of what he's doing. And that's the thing. That's why we got to trust Bobby. Masai's gone. In some ways, I used to say trust in Masai. We got to trust in Bobby, and we got to trust that hopefully, we're going to be going in the right direction in this new post-Masai era. Fuck you, Ed Rogers III. Fuck you, Keith Pelly. That's just prerequisite. I have to say that on the channel every day. All right, let's keep going. Wayne's saying SGA's former coach at age 13 stated SGA coming up was constantly cut from teams, but had a persistent work ethic. He had long arms, but was relatively short before the growth spurt. Great story. Yeah, that's something that happens with determined people. They could be told no over and over again, and they don't take it as that's the first rejection. I should go in a totally different direction. There's been a lot of stories like this. Michael Jordan was cut from his team in middle school, which is crazy to think. It's crazy to think. Fred VanVleet was told very young by people on social media in the early days of social media, you're too short. You're never going to make the NBA. You're never going to make the NBA. This is just, you can believe what other people's noise is trying to tell you and take it to heart and just go away. Or you can say, fuck the rejection. I'm coming through it and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I think that what you just said, Wayne, really explains a lot about SGA and what makes him tick and the fact that he got to this point. Because in some ways, yeah, he could have stopped when it was hard and he was already told you're not going to make it, but he didn't. And look where he is now. Look where he is now. That's right. That's fantastic stuff. Kaloy saying Clippers and Charlotte kicking rocks in regret for trading a future MVP. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Charlotte did draft him correctly in the beginning and then got traded to the Clippers. And then the Clippers traded him for Paul George because Kawhi Leonard demanded it. And this is why you don't let Kawhi Leonard and Uncle Dennis be the GM of your team, because you get what the Clippers get. And that's why Masai telling him, yeah, you guys aren't going to be our GM. Bobby is the GM. I'm the team president. You guys are a uncle of a player and you're a franchise player. And y'all don't have that job description. Oh, Steve Ballmer's going to let you be the GM? He's going to change his whole team. He's going to get rid of a future MVP and champion just to get your jollies to get Paul George to play with you? Okay. You go ahead. Go to LA. Go on then, Uncle Dennis and Kawhi, and go see what you get there then. Yeah, we know 5-6 years later what they got. We know what they got 5-6 years later. Blackhawks saying SGA is similar to MJ's origin story. Yeah, I just mentioned this. This is crazy. I didn't even see that comment yet. They had to be cut to get motivated. Yeah. It's interesting to hear that. JYD talks about getting cut in his book, a role player book, and how it shaped him in that way too. That, in some ways you got to feel that rejection and feeling pain. And then you got to really want it beyond that. And that is what builds a real bona fide DeRozan code kind of person. That's right. Let's see. Kaloy saying, looks like multiple dildo disruptors got to suck going to the games right now for dildo inspection is going to get tight. I know he's kind of being silly, but this is true. They're going to be checking everybody's bags. And if you got any kind of phallics in there, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. Oh, you're trying to do this? I'll bet you if somebody goes to a game by accident and brings the dildo with them just because they travel with one for some reason, and somebody goes through the bag coming into the arena, they'll be like, oh, you're already guilty. You're coming in here with a dildo. I'm like, no, I just had a long lunch. I don't know if that joke was worth it. All right, let's keep going. He's trying to make jokes too. He's like, things are going to get tight. You know what? Kaloy, that's dirty, naughty. Shame on you. Shame on you for your dad jokes. Santino will grow up someday and hear your dad jokes, and he'll probably laugh. There you go. Mike saying it was $6 million before waiving the Castleton non-guaranteed. There you go. So honestly, Castleton, you're gonna shit in the bed. You're gonna regress from last season, playing against easier summer league and looking worse. Yeah, we'll cut you non-guaranteed. Boom, that helps us get under. There you go. I like that. Just saying, interesting. Learning about how battle can be better battle. Thanks. It's footwork, Jill. It's footwork. In some ways, if he can get his open shot open for himself and not have to rely off of a teammate to get it to him and pass to him, if he can hold it for a sec, do a little dribble, think about Gary Trent Jr. and some of the funny stuff he'd do to get open on his shots. More of that for Jamison. Yep, more of that. More of that. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I can guarantee Oshai is going to be traded because his contract needs to be extended this year. I can see that. And that's the choice I like. I don't want to trade RJ. RJ's under contract with us for a long time. He's a hometown hero. We value RJ. He plays very, very well with Scotty. Oshai Agbaji is a great player. I think he's a great two-way player. He's an extremely good athlete. He's a great defender. He grew as an offensive player last year because we used him more correctly as a spot-up three shooter and a transition offensive player in the break. But in some ways, he is not totally necessary for our future going forward. I always thought of him as a throw-in talent in the trade that we got him in with Kelly Olynyk. And in some ways, I always thought of, well, this is an interesting piece. We can help him while he's here and develop him and get him better. But he's probably not going to be long for being on the Raptors. I thought that immediately when we got Agbaji. And last year, he did so well. He was one of the better improved Raptors from the year before. And honestly, that's the thing. If they play him in a showcase spot in the rotation for a while this season and get his value up, they could be flipping him at the trade deadline. And we'll see how Bobby works. I see this. I see what Shaq Lindsay's saying here also. Because out of everybody, in some ways, he's the guy who can be duplicated by some of the other guys and their energy and what they do. In some ways, if we got Conroy Boyles now, in some ways, he can do a lot of what Ochai Agbaji does in some ways. Not all the transition finishing and all that yet, but he can do the steals. He can do the strong arm and stuff on defense. And that's part of it right there. That's part of it right there. RJ is in 2 years. Yeah, RJ's extension is in 2 years. We've got all these guys locked down. Scotty, Jakob, RJ, Emmanuel, they're locked down. Grady is on his rookie contract. He'll need to get his rookie extension soon. And that's part of what's coming up too. Let's see. To stay under the cap, you have to trade Oshai for an expiring contract and a pick. And that may very well be the pick, the move that's happening right there. Listen, Raptors fans. Listen, if you're a Raptors freak, you know what's coming up because we're paying attention. Just like Shaq Lindsay's calling this. In some ways, we can see things way ahead of things. If you come here daily, you will be more in the know about Raptors, news, notes, and everything because we are on top of things. There's nobody else talking about the Raptors on August the 8th. In the middle of the summer when there's no reason to talk about them right now because there's not a whole lot going on, but we are. And we're figuring this out ahead of time. So you really want to be absolutely in the know with Raptors news and everything that's going on. This is absolutely essential watching every day. This is like the Raptors radio show every morning. Forget about the Raptors show. Forget about Locked On Raptors. They're not locked on like the Raptors freak. I'm on here every day for 4 years straight. Talking about the Raptors every day. And I better know what I'm talking about if I'm going to do it every day, right? Right? And Shaq Lindsay is exactly right. I can see this move happening. And we'll remember, let's put a pin on this. Shaq Lindsay commented, #1 top fan today. To stay under the cap, you have to trade Oshai for an expiring contract and a pick. If this shit happens next spring, we'll be like, yeah, Shaq Lindsay said that shit in August. And Lex was thinking the same damn thing. Yeah, I can see this. Seymour saying, I will never visit Hamilton ever again. Whoa. I remember driving from Scarborough down to St. Catharines, and we got lost in Hamilton. The police pulled us over, knifed all our seats, found nothing, kicked us out of the city, racist-ass place in Hamilton. That's messed up. That is messed up. They knifed all your cushions? Like they got in your car with a switchblade, and they're like, oh, I know there's drugs in here. There's fentanyl in here, isn't there? There's some fentanyl. And he's like, shh. Oh, what is this, a fucking movie? What is this, Sonny Crockett and Tubbs? This is a fucking Miami Vice episode? They think that Seymour Payne is some drug runner like Glenn Fry? He belongs to the city. He belongs to the night. What, is he just running drugs or something? What the fuck do you think he was going on in Hammertown? What the fuck? You coming at the sheriff like that? He's law enforcement himself. He's the sheriff. You should have just showed him your badge and say, I'm the city slicker. I'm Sheriff Seymour Pape. What the fuck are you doing? This is not my jurisdiction. But why are you doing this? I'm law enforcement. I'm one of the good guys. You know, that's fucked up. That does sound racist as fuck. What the fuck? You drive through Hamilton, you're going to get your car ruined with the upholstery. Just because you're driving while black, that's been a crime in a lot of places. It ain't justice. It ain't a right crime. Just driving while black, that's a messed up fucking crime. It's not a crime. It's just profiling. And fuck that shit. Hamilton for doing that shit. That's right. That's fucked up, man. Hey, I understand why you boycott that city. I'll be with you. I'm not going to Hamilton now because they did Seymour Pape wrong. I'm joining you in your boycott. Fuck Hamilton. I'm never going to Hamilton. That's right. That's right. I don't need to go there. I don't know why. Why would I go to Hamilton? I don't know. Maybe to celebrate with SGA. Maybe that's it. That's it. Maybe that's the only reason why. That's right. All right. Let me see what else you guys have been writing in the chat. I love to see so many names in the chat. Lots of cool stuff. Shaq Lindsay saying Oshai is a contract that is desirable in the league, especially for playoff contenders. Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing is that there probably will be good value in him. And there could be a really good trade involved here. And it could be really, really smart. I think you're exactly right. He's a very attractive player to other teams, especially if he plays really well this year, like he did last year. Mike saying, Shaq Lindsay, it depends. If Oshai plays well, then he maybe works out a new deal, $3.3 million in cash range. You could trade like anyone for cash at under $4 million. This is a non-issue at the moment. So Mike is telling me that the whole scariness, the chicken littling that the press has made about the Raptors trying to get under the cap is actually kind of stupid because in some ways this is piddly shit. And this is not even actually an amount that is actually mattering. So I like this. Mike knows. In some ways, I'm going to trust Mike when it comes to cap issues because he knows. He's actually read the salary cap for the NBA, like the paper, the document. So in some ways, Mike's going to know. So he's saying this isn't even something to worry about. In some ways, they don't even need to do this move with Oshai. But I say if they're going to do a move, it should be him. That's what I think right there. That's right. Kaloy's laughing. Jill's saying 11 o'clock, all is well. Drink water. Okay. This is Jill's part in the production. She's telling me to drink the water. Oh, do you hate when people do that? Some people hate that. Don't do that after drinking water. Do you have to do that every time? There's some people that have like problems with it. They get mad at family members. Do you have to do that all the time? After every time they drink? That's such a weird thing right there. That's right. Mike's saying AJ Lawson is on a $2.2 million non-guarantee. We have players with bonuses and we're under. Okay, so it's like sadly he's saying if we cut AJ non-guaranteed, that'll help with that 3.3 right there. But in some ways, maybe we don't even care. Maybe we are above the apron a little bit and we pay a little bit in the tax because it's negligible. You know, maybe that's part of it too. Blackhawks saying Raptors don't have to make a decision about the cap until February. Exactly. The Raptors will evaluate the team and decide to make a package to stay under the luxury tax or stay the course. Performance matters. Boom goes the dynamite. Neil hitting it out of the park. He got that all exactly right. They don't have to make a decision on this until February. And it's going to be the first half of the season. They're going to see how things are going, and they'll gauge it from that. And there may be a lot of the decision-making is from Bobby watching everybody and kind of analyzing trade value. And then maybe he makes a move. Maybe the right deal is put in front of him, and he said, yeah, we'll do this. But maybe there is a flexibility along with that they don't have to do anything because the team does really well, and it doesn't matter. And we want to keep it together because it's going so well. So there's some, we're going to have to gauge it by how the season goes, and we'll have to see. Mike's saying expiring contracts are good to free up cap space the following year. The money counts against you on final day of the season, aka tax day. There you go. There you go. I like that. Jill's saying, sorry you were harassed, Seymour. Same police suck. Some police suck, and here too. I mean, this is the thing. I had an interaction with a police officer a couple weeks ago after I went to karaoke night. I got pulled over. And the only reason why they pulled me over is because they walked out of a bar and got my truck. And they was like, oh, we're sobriety check. And he came out the window, and I was like, hi. And he's like, hi, I'm just checking you. Was I speeding? I was like, no, we're just checking. You just walked out of a bar. We just want to check and see if you had something to drink. Well, they didn't know I've been sober since 2010. I haven't had a single drop of alcohol since. And well, I told the cop, I said, I came here to sing, not to drink. And I was singing at the karaoke night. That's what it was. I haven't had a beer since 2010. And he was like, oh, wow. Oh, and he could tell I wasn't like drunk or anything like that. And he kind of felt bad. He kind of felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have pulled this guy over and stuff like that. And we were talking, and I said, I really appreciate you guys. I think that the police should be serving the people, and I think that the police that serve the people are the good guys, and the ones that are, I didn't say this all to him, but I was like in some ways feeling him out, because in some ways I want to know that the police work for us and not for the corporate interests, the rich billionaires, and all that kind of stuff. They need to work for the community. They need to work for public safety. They need to work for public health. They need to work for goodness and justice and equality and freedom. And in some ways, if you interact with the police, if you are around them, I used to work at the Scotiabank Arena. We'd take cigarette breaks in the back, and we'd be in the back entrance near the employee entrance where they drive down to go into the arena. And we would have cigarettes out there, and the cops would be out there having smoke breaks too. And I would talk to them, and they were a lot of nice guys, and there were a lot of nice people. And they were always, in some ways, I feel like cops in Canada have their head straight, right, as far as what their job description is and what their job duties should be overall. But let's not get it twisted. There's going to be racist-ass racial profiling, what happened to Seymour Pape. There's going to be all kinds of different stuff. Systemic racism is still involved in things. But in some ways, I would check base with community police in your community and have a relationship with them. Because honestly, just like in Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, we don't want the stormtroopers to flip all of a sudden and turn into some fascist police state like what's looking like in the United States. They're hiring ICE agents like crazy and giving bonuses and all kinds of shit because they want more stormtroopers. They want more fuckers to come out and do the evil shit that Donald Trump and MAGA might want to do. They're building a Nazi party of SS. And they put a huge amount of money into it with this bill where they're going to have a police state. And in some ways, we don't want the police here in Canada to start flipping like them, because then we'll live in a fascist state too. So it's good to check in with your police in your neighborhood and get to know them and humanize them and say, look, I know you guys are humans and you're citizens just like us. And in some ways, we're not against each other. We're supposed to be working with each other. In some ways, we are a community and you are supposed to serve and protect. So don't ever forget that is your job description. Because a lot of fucking little men with little penises and little egos run around with guns in the United States, and they use their authority to bully people just to make themselves feel better. So this is a big issue, and we need to keep tabs on this. A litmus test on freedom by understanding what are the police's intentions and their purpose in society. Are they there to serve and protect, or are they there to corral and intimidate and put fear on people? Because that's what they're doing in the States right now. And that's fucked up. That is fucked up. And that is SS party Nazi shit is what's going on down there with ICE. That's what I'm saying right there. Boom goes the dynamite. There you go. Kareem saying, I love Hamilton only to play footage, Tim Hortons Stadium. Ancaster is a beautiful place. This is the one thing. Seymour had a bad experience there. And, I'm going to hold it against it for him. But other people, you have your own opinion. It's a freedom. It's free country. That's right. That's right. Mike saying the trade rules make it easy to trade players under $7 million if you're under the second apron. Then there's a cash option for under $4 million. So this is good. So this allows for movement and flexibility in the weirdness of the new salary cap. So that at that level, there is a lot of fluid stuff. Okay, I like this. This is good information. Kareem saying, who the fuck is on your thumbnail? Who is that on my thumbnail? On my picture? Who are you talking to? Who the fuck is on your thumbnail? Who are you talking to? There's a Larry O'Brien on Mike's. Whose thumbnail are you talking about? Maybe you elaborate. Cole Schweider heading to Turkey. Not surprised by that. I think that a lot of these fringe guys like Joe Wieskamp and other people like that, they may be finding it's time to go overseas. That the G League route is over for that group. Jeff Doughton Jr., David Johnson, Javon Freeman Liberty. They're all going overseas now. They're all going somewhere else to play basketball this season. And add Colt Schweider to the list, even though he had an amazing summer league for the Lakers. And he looked really good. Bronny's still going to have a spot, but Colt Schweider won't. And Colt Schweider was way better than Bronny James in the summer league. That's right. Playing for Anadolu Efes. Anna DeLu Effies, thank you for the news of the day. Former Raptor Cole Schwider is going to go to Turkey to play. That's the name of the club. All right. Kaloy saying Sampson had a pod a bit about JMO. It turns out he is one of the top pick and roll defenders in the league. And I was browsing Facebook, and then I see some training videos of him with trainer Milo Official Academy. That's good stuff. So Sampson's always crunching numbers. In some ways, he's an expert like Mike on certain things. And Sampson, in some ways, he pays a lot of attention to play styles, play sets, and what they're doing with different various Raptors. And that's interesting. So he went and looked at the stats, he crunched them, and Jonathan's one of the best pick and roll defenders. That makes sense. He may be very good at guarding the flip pass over the top and kind of covering the big guy when they roll. That makes a lot of sense. Smooth saying one of the guys that played Superman TV shows joining ICE. I know. Dean Cain is a piece of shit. Dean Cain has had bad politics for a while. He's obviously a MAGA piece of shit. He's absolutely out of touch with the everyday man's experience. And he's just lives in this celebrity life where he can look down on people and he doesn't give a shit. I mean, I wonder about his ethnicity. Is he like, what's going on, Dean Cain? Are you going after people? Because I heard you're part Japanese. Dean Cain. Yeah, you're a part Japanese man. Do you know what the history of the United States is with internment camps in World War II? Dean Cain is? Do you understand this? Do you know that the man who played Sulu, George Takei, a Japanese man, was in an internment camp when he was a child because the United States government took all the Japanese citizens in the United States during World War II and threw them into concentration camps, just like what they're doing right now to the immigrants with Alligator Alcatraz and all their bullshit. And they're wanting to build more prisons to throw immigrants in. Well, Dean Cain, as a person who has Japanese heritage, fuck you from all the Japanese people that were in internment camps for your fucking bullshit and what you're doing right now. I love that South Park has come out and skewered the shit out of ICE in their latest episode this week. Good job. In some ways, you're getting the points across. In some ways, South Park is leading the charge against MAGA in some ways right now, as far as just showing how fucked up and how full of shit they are. And what they're doing to Trump and everything on there is beautiful, is amazing. Hopefully, enough people understand satire and understand that they're making fun of them and don't think that they're trying to glorify them. Apparently, J.D. Vance didn't get the memo. He said, oh, now I made it. I'm on South Park. Yeah, you're playing Tattoo, you piece of shit, and you look like an idiot, and they're making fun of you, and it's not supposed to be you should feel good about it. They're making fun of you and making you a clown, J.D. Vance, you idiot. So, yeah, Dean Cain, big two-finger salute to you. You're fucking anything but a real Superman, you piece of shit. You're more a Clark piece of shit Kent than a fucking real Superman, because you're going to go join a little bully squad where, poor little sad men who are scared of everybody join to be feeling good to get behind an ICE badge and their bullshit. Anybody who's joining ICE, you're a wimp, a coward, and a sorry piece of shit. You're a Nazi. You're a fucking Nazi if you're joining up with ICE right now. And yeah, they want to make it attractive. They're going to pay the hell out of them. They should be paying the teachers. They should be paying the healthcare workers. And they should be fucking paying the right people instead of paying for a police force for fascism in the United States. That lady came to the town hall and said, how much do we have to pay as U.S. taxpayers for a fascist state? She called him out, and she's exactly damn right. Dean Cain, you're a fucking sorry piece of shit, and you're a sellout to your Japanese heritage. You piece of shit. That's what I got to say to that. That's right. Dean Cain is the one, and that's who it is. That's right. Trevor J saying Cole Schwider signed a 1-year deal with. Somebody already said that. Trevor, did you say that twice, or did somebody else say that? No, Smooth said it already. He got you. He out-woged you, bro. I'm sorry. Woj out-woged you, Shams. Trevor J, you're too late. Woj bomb was bombed already. That's right. Smooth saying not the guy in the movies or the Smallville actor, the other guy. Dean Cain, I know. I'm sure Terry Hatcher's disappointed in him. I'm sure Terry Hatcher thinks Dean Cain's the biggest piece of shit. And she'd be like, fuck you, Dean Cain. I wish I never worked with you on Lois and Clark. I'm a sensible woman who understands the world and justice and good things. And Dean Cain, I'm so disappointed in you. You've made our show more shitty because you're a piece of crap, MAGA piece of shit. I'm sure Terry Hatcher feels that way. If you went and interviewed her, yeah, they're real and they're glorious. And fuck you, Dean Cain, is probably what she said. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying a cop pulled me over, said I was swerving when changing lanes, wanted to check if I was drinking, laugh out loud. He stuck his head in the window talking to me, pointed to my niece sleeping, get home safe is what he said. Yeah, that you see, that's the thing. Profiling is out of control right now. In fact, they're being very open about it. The ICE agents are saying we need to protect our culture. Homeland Security's tweeting, join ICE to protect our culture. That's fucking code words for Nazi ass shit right there. Right there. In some ways, they're going to be racially profiling you if you're Hispanic. I don't give a shit if you lived here 5 generations. You could have been here before everybody else because you're a Hispanic that lived in Texas that was here before white men even came. And they're going to fucking racial profile you as somebody who doesn't belong in the country. Just if you're Mexican, just if you look Spanish, they're coming to talk to you. They're coming to talk to you. They don't care if they're going to look at papers or nothing. They're going to come and talk to you, and they're going to get it wrong. They're going to take people in just because they fight them. They say, no, I'm an American. Oh, no, you're fighting us. No, we got to take you in. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in an ICE detention camp as an American citizen who didn't do nothing and were never a criminal. That's fucked up. That's fascism. That's Russia. That's North Korea. That's fucking the Nazi state of Germany under Adolf Hitler. Is what the fuck is going on in the United States with MAGA America under fucking dumbass piece of shit Trump. That's it right there. Mic drop. I'm using it today. It's actually working today. Seymour saying they may be bugging. I try my best to avoid them. I've been violated many times by police. It comes with wearing the black skin. Sad. I know about this, not personally, but when I was down south in Tallahassee, my best friend, Anton, he's a black man, and he got racially profiled left and right, and the police would not leave his ass alone. They would not leave his ass alone, and they were doing the most fucked up shit to him. Just pulling him over and just giving him citations, giving him tickets, keeping him in trouble. In some ways, this is part of the Jim Crow of the real world now, is they can't have slavery anymore, but we're going to give you problems by coming to fuck with you just because of the color of your skin. This is really the way it's been for a long time. This is part of the systemic racism we talked about. And that's why body cams on cops was working real well. That's why Black Lives Movement, Black Lives Matter, that was happening, mattered. It matters. It still matters even more today because this shit is still happening. This shit is still happening. That's what I'm saying. Let's do the straight goods on Canadian goods because we're proud to be Canadians and we live in this country. And as I said, hopefully the police here still got the memo. They're here to serve and protect and work for the community and not just protect billionaires and their property. In some ways, that is the problem right there. Y'all, if you all want to buy cookies that are 100% Canadian, 10 out of 10 on the Canada score, Canadian-owned Nova Scotia company, Acadian Maple uses local maple syrup and produces cookies that are made here in Canada. So you can't go wrong with a Canadian cookie company, Acadian Maple. Acadian Maple. So go on and get your Acadian Maple cookies. You'll be supporting Canada. You can get Dare cookies too. That brand Dare, if you see it at the grocery store, those are Canadian cookies also. So feel okay with supporting Canada and buying cookies that way. All right, we got 8 minutes. I'm going to get done right on time, guys, because we got right to the end of the chat just now. Let me just check the rest of my tabs. Let's check in on Raptors Reddit real quick. They're trying to rank the 10 best Raptors of all time. Well, we do this all the time. My top 5, once again, are Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and Vince Carter. Those are my top 5 now. Vince got into the top 5 because he got good with us. He was not in my top 5 until this past year. So that's my top 5 greatest Raptors of all time. Kawhi's a little bit further down in the top 10. He's just a little bit further down. Let's see. They're having goodbye Chris Boucher stuff. They're talking about one guy here saying, I don't want to hear anything about high expectations next year. Aim for the playoffs, get that experience, and see what needs to be tuned for 2027. I think that's a very reasonable, smart stance on this season for this year. They're cracking up about Grady Dick and his flips and his goofiness. Of course, there was an interview with him and Carla recently talking about them being meeting each other in Kansas. And who's faster on land? Grady. Who's faster in water? Carla. Who's more likely to get lost? Grady. There were some really cool answers and interesting stuff. And you can tell they really like each other a lot. Grady's a goofy guy. We also found out that Grady's got dance moves like Michael Jackson. Like, you know how Michael Jackson had the moonwalk legs and feet? Well, Grady can do all that dancing like Michael, apparently. Like he can get on a dance floor and do the slide his feet and do all the popping and locking like Michael used to do in the 80s. And yeah, he's really good at it, apparently. He very confidently said, yeah, I can dance like Michael Jackson. Most people would not say I can dance like Michael Jackson with confidence. Yeah, sure, I can do a half-ass moonwalk. I can do a little bit of woo, woo. But Grady very confidently says, I can dance like Michael Jackson. Because he can. If you watch him and you see how he is, he's such an interesting athlete as a person that he can do that smooth of moonwalk and pull it off, just like the moonwalker, the great king of pop, Michael Jackson. That's right. That's right. That's right. Dan Sand, they don't call people slaves anymore. They just call you criminals. Yeah, there's all kinds of, it's just, in some ways, they just want to have different systems at doing different things for subjugating people. And it's fucked up. Systemic racism has been an issue. And, you know, in some ways, it's been worse in other eras, obviously. There's been all kinds of really, really horrible, horrendous, tragic, fucked up things that humanity has done to itself. And, you know, I feel like even though we're in a dark period right now, even though we're in a period where it looks like things are really going to shit, we're actually going through a really important, tough period, the dark before the dawn. And that in some ways, the goodness and the right things about the world are going to come and beat the shit out of this evil right now. Very, very soon. Not very soon, but it'll happen in over years, in the next decade. And hopefully we'll get to a better place by 2035. And we'll be able to stop the dystopian MAGA world that they're trying to create right now. Because that's maybe the most important fight of our lives right now. And this may have been the most important fight of our lifetimes, is right now. In this situation, it's the same thing 100 years ago that people were fighting in Germany. It's the same shit's going on in the United States right now. It's the same thing. Blackhawk saying Dean's biological father is Japanese and he abandoned his family. Dean gravitates to his stepfather as his real father, so he acknowledges his Japanese origin, but sticks to his stepdad's upbringing. Yeah, that's good information, Neil. But still, he's been a conservative leaning person and publicly for a while as a celebrity. And well, now he's gone full MAGA and he has no issue with it. That you're going to be so fucked, Dean Cain, for this shit. Seriously, you're going to be so fucked for this. We're all going to remember this, that you went that side and that you're a full of shit piece of crap. And like I said, Terry Hatcher's completely disappointed in you. Terry Hatcher's completely disappointed in you. Cool Cat saying, I was actually swerving while changing lanes because I was also checking my niece in the car seat. So I considered it just because of this case, just cause in this case. Yeah, and it could be very well that the cop at that time didn't know Cool Cat's skin color or anything like that, that he just saw something happening weird with the car. Yeah, there's all kinds of different situations. You got to take them and parse them out each individually. That's right. All right, let's go with what? Let me just make sure I'm not. Oh, yeah, let's do the birthdays and then we'll do the classic card. Guys, we have 3 birthdays today. Of course, happy birthday to Fiercey. We've talked about this, but also today is a special day for birthdays because 2 of the birthdays today are the 2 of the tallest players to ever play for the Raptors. In fact, today is the birthday of the tallest player in Raptors history, Alex Radojevic. Radojevic was drafted by the Raptors a long time ago, the first round, the 12th pick in 1999. And well, he didn't really have a good career. He was 7'3". He's 7'3". And it just really messed up things like with him. It just didn't happen. He didn't work out. He was a bust. He came out and he was really, really bad. And it just went wrong. But happy birthday to Alex Radojevic, who has turned 48 today, or no, 49 today. On this date, the tallest Raptor in Raptor history. Also a birthday to a guy who got traded alongside him in a deal. The same got traded to Garth Joseph. Garth Joseph is from Dominica, and he was 7'2". He's 7'2". He's turning 52 today. He's a little bit older. And yeah, he's been on the Dominica national basketball team. If you guys remember Garth Joseph, he's a former Raptor also who has his birthday today. So happy birthday to 2 very tall Raptors, and Garth Joseph and Alex Radojevic. And happy birthday, Fiercey, once again. You know, David Roddy has this is interesting little factoid. David Roddy has been already in his NBA career traded for 2 former Raptors. He was traded for Danny Green at one point, champion of the Raptors, and he's also was traded for Yuta Watanabe already in his career also. So just a little factoid. David Roddy's been involved in game and trades with those two players that I just named that are former Raptors. All right, let's do the classic card. We're almost at a minute. Let's see if you guys can do this in under the 2-hour limit. So, that's too hard. Don't do that one right now, Lex. That's too hard. Get somebody that can help them kind of get it fast. I don't want that one. That's the one that I looked at yesterday, and I'm like, I don't want that one. Yeah, we'll do this one. All right, here we go. Classic card. Let's see if you guys can do it in under 30 seconds. Classic card of the day. Full name answer. Please, if you're live, that hair should give it away right away. We've had a lot of players from this era in these cards right now. But yeah, that hair should give it away right away. Let's see. 41, 42, 43. Jared Allen. All right, Fiercey got it on her birthday. Of course, we get Fiercey Salsera, the classic card of the day on her birthday. Jared Allen, of course, of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is the card of the day. And yeah, Fiercey, 50 points for you on your birthday. Happy birthday, Fiercey. I love to see you get the classic card. All right, let me get the hell out of here, guys. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream today. The Raptors have got David Roddy on their roster. He's an Exhibit 10. We'll have to see what the path is for him. I don't want it to run over AJ Lawson's path. Hopefully, David Roddy, well, maybe he's a part of the 905, and he's playing a lot on G League, and maybe he does well on G League. He gets called up to the Raptors at some point during the season. I think that could be possible. We'll have to see. But right now, I'm thinking Roddy's going to end up being like this year's Eugene Omoruyi. And that's what's going to happen right now. Yeah. Wayne's saying it's not really fascism. It's criminality. Criminals have always been in politics as muscle and money. Now they're actually running the government. Everything decision is breaking the law. Yeah. Yeah. It's really bad. It's a criminal government. It's a crypto a criminal state. And Russia's the same way right now. That's the crazy thing. Like in some ways, a lot of the things that are happening in the United States are exactly the things that kind of go on in the Russia right now with the way Putin is a dictator and he silences the media. He tries to he punishes his enemies. He subjugates his people. He arrests people for protest, no free speech. There's all that kind of shit. There's all that kind of shit in there. All right, I don't want to go too far on this anymore, Wayne, but I appreciate your comment. All right, let's go Raptors. Let's go Tempo. Let's go Team Canada basketball. Let's go CBL. Let's go Canada in general. Never, ever a part of the United States, sovereign state forever. That's right. I love you guys. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream. Saturday Share Love Club, DeMar DeRozan, tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Be there or be square. Let's go Raptors.